All right. My beautiful guitar. Ooh, there's a googly guy on the floor. Uh-oh. That's scary. He's in my house. Get in my house. All right, so I have tackled the cupboards. As you can see, I got everything out. I might see if they don't want this because there's so many plates and stuff like that up home. But if they don't, I'll keep that cup because it's kind of cool. That'll be a blog cup. I'll keep all this. I just give it a quick rinse just to start. But I've cleared out all the cupboards. And I've got the trap of death ready to go. So I still got to sweep them out. But what I wanted to do is see what was in behind the cupboards, because behind the cupboards is the wall, and the wall, I want to see the condition of the wall. We'll get into that at a later date. But because this sink has leaked a lot over the years, there's a lot of questionable stuff behind the wall. But it's fine for now. It's not as bad as I thought. It was mostly junk in there. I've never understood why people hang on to these things. It's like when they're empty, just throw them out. Fuck. Oh yeah, there was a lot of garbage in there. Like it's just like, why was it behind there? You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not judging. I'm just saying. So the cupboards are. They might come down at one point. Like I mean, you have to understand. Like there was 7 kids in this house growing up, so I guess when my grandfather built those cupboards, many probably older than me, there was a need for that many cupboards, right? But for me, if I even need the 2 on the end, that's probably too much. The top shelf is real. There was too much weight up there for to begin with. That's just that pressed chip stuff, and I guess there's a lot of cold air comes in from there too. So I'll see what it's like in the wintertime, but it seems fairly dry behind there, considering. I know the counter and everything's kind of seen better days. It does leak somewhere, obviously, because the counter's sagging. But if I can figure out where it's leaking, dry it out, should be okay. Overall, the house is not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. It's just, you got to sag and seal. It's like 100-year-old building part of it. Like I said, my dad was born in the corner where the garbage can was. The garbage can is no longer there. My brother said he couldn't get those 2 drawers out for a couple of years, so I got them open. But I just wanted to see what was behind them, and we'll do another take on another day once I get it cleaned out. But I just wanted to get everything out, so because my sister-in-law, she's kind of short, right? So there's no way she's ever gonna be able to, I'd like to see her climbing a ladder up there, and you can't step on the counter. So I just got everything down, made it nice and easy. I'm not sure what that is there, if it was a light or what it is. My brother says don't use the second switch, so I'm going to put tape over it. Very old wiring in this house. So, like you got to turn switches on with caution. Ow, there's many. But yeah, so I figured if I kept some plates, some bowls, all this is going to go. I don't know what's going to happen with all the plants because there's not enough room up home for the plants, and we don't have really good daylight up there. So some of them might actually stay down here if she doesn't, if we don't have a spot for them. So I'll see if I can keep them alive long enough because I don't know what the watering routine is. The fish or whatever is in there. There's like one fish they want to keep, but I think they should just get rid of them all. Be honest with you. Like it's very limited space up there too. Something else I'm gonna do. Oh, so like I said, like my brother never really liked sunshine that much. Like my grandmother would basically open the windows because she was like a town surveillance system, right? Whoever drove up and down the road, you can't see the road now because it's all grown in there, but I'm going to trim all that back. But this was like camera 1, camera 2. That was just like an optional camera. And then that was the main surveillance camera there, and then the yard camera right there. So that's how my grandmother's surveillance system was. And she'd be like, oh, call my aunt. Yeah, such just went up the road. I wonder where they're going. Yeah, that's where they were. So anyway, the plants, once they come out, it's all going to have to come out, because that's where my wood stove's probably going to go, is there. But it's not going to go there until I reinforce, maybe put another jack post there. The piano is either going to go here or here. This is Grandpappy's chair spot, so that's what that goes there. Open this up, yeah. Grandpappy's chair is going to go there. That's going to be the makeshift Grandpappy chair. Now, mind you, my other uncle was getting rid of a Lazy Boy like last week. He asked me if I wanted it for anything. I said, no, but I didn't think ahead. I should have see if he still has it all. I'll nab it from him. I think he already got rid of it though, so because Dad and I moved it for him. But I'll see. So okay, adjacent to the slight mold in here, like again, it's nowhere near as bad as they made it out to be. It's bad. The worst is the basement. It's just a matter of getting the flow right in the basement. We'll visit that maybe one more time, and then I'm going to call it a day. But like I say, you can see I got airflow going through all the house right now. Look at my nephew's window. This was also my grandma and grandfather's room. This is where my nephew stayed. And you can see like the window's breathing. So there's air moving around. That's moving around nicely. I'll leave that open. It's a nice windy day. If the air is going up there, there's a fly there. If the air is going up there, that means the air is coming out of the basement up to here, right? So I got these vents open. I got to clean them before I put the grills back on. But my brother had all, like, I'll have to see if there's plastic under that one and that one. So basically there was no air coming up from underneath because he wanted to keep the smell down. But the problem is that you have to dry out the basement through circulation when there's a constant leak like that, right? And it's a bad smell. So what everybody does is they try to seal it all off, and then the irony is you can't. You know what I mean? Like the water's flowing in, and if it's stagnant, watch it, don't step on the fan, hurt my toes. Like the water's, you can see there's still water on the ground there. It just seeps right in. So what I'm gonna do once I get it's gonna be a while. Like I mean, I got the whole house to clean before I get down here. When I get down here, I'm going to have, you can see most of the water doesn't come in from that side. It comes in from here, right? And you can, on certain like in the spring, you can actually see it seeping right through the bricks, right? But it's mainly down low. So if I'm lucky, there's a product you can get. It's basically, if you want to think of it as like a weather stripping, and you just go along the bottom and it channels to like a tube, and you can put it right out through your sump pump. Now, this thing I'm going to have to get out of here, but I'm going to have to probably get an electrician when I get to that. I just want the wiring removed. There's 4 or 5 problem wiring things in here that my brother wasn't sure of and I wasn't sure of. And that's basically the wiring to the furnace, which I believe is this switch right here. That's the switch. So I don't even want to touch it because God knows what will happen if you turn that on. That's been flooded, so I mean that thing could just catch fire as soon as you turn it on, right? Maybe it still works. I don't know, but I don't care. I want it out of here anyway. Like it's just this basement is going to flood again at some point until I deal with the problem. But one good thing is there's the fresh air intake. I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick it up very well, but that's the fresh air intake for the furnace, right? Or the exhaust. I'm not sure. Probably fresh air intake. And what's going to happen with that is that I'm going to redo. Not a lot of light down here, but you'll get a better look at it when I get to it. So you can see like all this plenum here, like all these things. I'm just going to open up all the ducts under the floor. Now the downside is when it gets musty down here, that's all going to go upstairs. But that's okay if I keep the air flowing. By the time it gets bad enough, it'll be dry again. You know what I mean? Like this does dry out a little bit, but as soon as it rains, there's like what they call the false water table. Like a lot of this bricks is pushed in from water pressure on the outside. A lot of people don't realize that. And behind there is just the crawl space, but I'll show you that on another day. But that door, because it was closed all the time, like it's 100 times better down here. Like yesterday coming down here is like, wow, it almost make you puke, right? Just because it was so musty, right? But you only have to do this until it dries out, and then once you notice it getting a little musty again, like you see all the dog hair in the. I'm gonna be picking out dog hair and there's a lot of smell in here. Is the dog? There was 2 dogs that were in here, right? So that dog smell is still in here. So it's not all mold. It's mostly dog smell that you smell in here, and it's pretty potent. See, like our dog, Lacey, God rest her, she always got to run outside. But Kita, you can't let her off the leash. So she's inside a little bit too much, which is going to become a problem for, there's my dad's house right there. It's going to become a problem, come the winter months. We're going to have to make sure that there's air circulation. Nice thing about my dad and I is, my dad and I are opposite to my brother, my nephew, and my sister-in-law, where we like sun coming in, and the best disinfectant is sunlight. So I think a lot of that is just going to die off from the sunlight. Like in the really hot summer months, I'll put a curtain on there or something like that. But hopefully by that time I have windows. And if I vent properly, I probably won't even need an air conditioner in here. It's vent first, savings later. Worry about, sealing everything up airtight later. Most people do it the other way around. Front light, like I'll have to see what switches are good, what switches are not. The problem is with an old house like this, like my brother was saying, like when the electrician hooked up the panel, he didn't mark anything. So I'm going to have to go turn absolutely everything on in every room, try every plug and just see what breaker goes where. And the one I'm most interested in is to get that ground wire out there dealt with, because what I'll probably do for now is just, I don't know if I can find it, but it's in there somewhere. There's a wire sticking out of the ground, which accidentally got cut, and it's most likely goes to there. But it might be a dud wire. We don't know. Have to test it, right? But when I find it, I want to get it dealt with so that it's not just sitting out there in the snow and stuff like that in the weather, because maybe to keep the power on here, it turns that on out there. But I don't think so. I know there was a separate light for the light switch for the yard light, and it's just my dad doesn't quite remember because he hasn't lived in here for 40 years, right? I visit a lot, but I'm pretty sure it was probably that second switch is to there. So as long as at least I can keep the yard light switch off, which I know was a secondary switch, and I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me correct, from when I was a kid turning it on, that was it. But it might not be. You know what I mean? Things have changed. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of mice in those cupboards for sure, but getting all that stuff out of there might help. I'm going to have to do a mouse accost in here for sure. But it's been, not a really, okay, I wanted to move stuff down here this weekend and stuff like that. I'll start with my guitar. It's in a weird tuning. But the thing is that, I want to clean all this up before, this is not my stuff. This is their stuff. The only thing that's mine is that, and then a couple other little things and a few things on the porch, right? So all this has got to get cleaned up before I start really bringing stuff in. Tomorrow I'll probably bring a few more things in, but I'd like to air the place out a little bit more before I bring all my guitars down and stuff like that. Because when I leave, I'm going to leave a window cracked open for the night. I'm going to leave the attic open till the snow flies or till it's too cold. I'm going to leave there's no good. Okay, good. I need those for next time. Again, figuring out my airflow. See, this room doesn't seem to have any flow in it, but I got to put a doodader on there. So for now, until I figure out all my flow, I want to see what my natural flow is in the house. But until I do, fans are going to be... I've got 2 fans up home that I'm going to bring down here. I don't need them up there. And a dehumidifier. So it's going to be fans, dehumidifier. I'll have 2 dehumidifiers when I'm here. Tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll see if I can bring... there's one out on the porch. I'll bring it in, put it in the basement, run it for whatever. And the other one I'll put up on, up here, probably throw it in this room for now. And then, because that's where I'll be sleeping, right? So this is my bed from up there. So got to keep this from getting musty. And the best way to do that is keep ventilation. The word you're going to hear for the next 3 years, ventilation. But that's project number one, is get the house to breathe. And that'll bring it back to life, clean as I go. My sister-in-law, she has to go through, see what dishes. She's not going to keep all of that, I'm sure, but I only need, that there, maybe a couple forks and knives. That's enough. So I don't know how many, I don't have any friends, so it's not like, that's probably, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 glasses too many. Like for the amount of company I'm gonna have. But if I can do it, what I'll probably do, because guys, I gotta switch this camera back. Okay, when I was growing up, okay, before the house up there was built, my mom and dad, my sister and I, my brother wasn't born yet, would spend many times in here. Now I'll show you how it went. Went something like this. Okay. There's Grandma and Grandpa's room. Okay. And right in here, this is where pretty much all the kids, it used to be a loft, but then when my grandfather built this part of the house, this side of the house, there was basically a bunk bed right here, a dresser, and another bed right here. It was like a queen size bed. It was a good size bed. I know that. I think the frame is still in the out in the barn. And I used to jump from there to there, and then we'd jump back. My cousin would jump there to there and jump back. And my grandma would, stop jumping on the beds. Yeah. Oh, the good old days. The good old days. I wasn't a bad kid, but sometimes my grandfather didn't have to yell at me too much, but once in a while, hey, settle down. My cousin Whit and I were complete riffraff. The only time my grandmother really got mad at me, and it's like, talk about a stupid kid. Okay, my cousin and I were always into Cowboys and Indians, Batman and Robin, you name it. Well, this time we were playing Batman and Robin. And we were climbing the backside of the house, just on the back there. And for a safety line, we tied ropes around her neck just in case we fell. We had towels around her neck, and then we put the rope around it. We climb upside the house, right? Grandma comes out, wow, she wasn't having that. I said, are you guys? I have no idea how I'm still alive. Like, I don't know how. Like, it was just like, yeah. Oh boy, did we ever? We got yeah. You just wait till I tell your parents. Oh yeah. It was right out this. It was a tree or something there that we were climbing up. It was right out this window here. Like there was a tree or something there years ago, and we were climbing up or on the back of the shed. It was somewhere around there. Anyway, my cousin and I were doing that, and we tied the rope around her neck in case we fell. Stupid fucking kids. Oh, jeez. I got a little bit better, but not by much. Yeah. Now this here, I don't know if it's screwed shut. I'm gonna have to ask my brother about the door if it's just swollen shut. I think it's just swollen shut. That's something I wanted to check. Door swell. Okay, so I know this bathroom door. Yeah, so that's not too bad. We'll leave everything open. Because I know at some points there, like in the wintertime, my brother says you can't even close the doors all the way. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. But it's just to get an idea of how tight everything is. See, yeah, this door. Mind you, the house is crooked too, so I don't know if that door was ever able to close in my lifetime. That door's older than me. Yeah, so leave those open. But anyway, what I was going to get at originally, let's look at my nice guitar. This room here, okay, so there was always a couch here, a rocking chair there, my grandfather's rocking chair there. Nobody sat in my grandfather's rocking chair while he was still kicking, right? Because that would be very, very bad for your health. A table, a divider table, would go right down the center here. Okay, and there'd be like 5 generations of family having Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, the odd family potluck shindig, whatever. And there would be about 30 people, and I miss that so much. And the thing about it is that when my grandmother passed away, that that tradition of our family doing that kind of ended. Now, mind you, my aunt and uncle, like I say, it's all extended family around, but over there is the windows a bit washed out. But yeah, I got to wash these windows. They have a fish fry usually every year. They didn't have it this year so far, but they have a fish fry, but it's not the same. It's not the same as having everybody here and everybody eats and moans and groans and after and and then everybody lines up, does the dishes together, and it's stuff like that I just absolutely love, because you can think of your favorite time in your life. It's not what you bought or where you went; it's who are you with. And for me, it's always family, right? So family and close friends, and doing dumb stuff like playing Batman and Robin by tying ropes around her neck for safety. I don't want to talk about that anymore. But I should tell you something I found under the sink. My grandmother's old frog sponge holder. Check that out. Check that bad boy. That thing is so old. God knows how old that is. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm stealing it. And I think some of these might have been hers too. I'm not too sure. But I might take that. That definitely has to be one of hers. Like when my brother moved in, he moved in right after my cousin Girlie moved out, right? And she moved in not too long after my grandmother passed away. But she was only here maybe, I want to say, a year and a half tops. So like, I know when my grandmother passed away, we had, like I said, there was tables here with all the stuff, and people took what they wanted. I got some stuff, which is kind of the irony that it's going to be my grandmother's iron is going to make it back to home. You know what I mean? And people kept whatever, but I don't remember ever clearing out the cupboards. And I know that's something I would have done, because my aunts and uncles are, all my aunts are short, right? And my uncles, while they'd be doing something else, they were cleaning out the barn and the woodshed and all that stuff. And I was doing, my other aunts and uncles, or my aunts were like cleaning out all the cupboards and stuff like that, the lower cupboards stuff. But I don't think they got everything. So I think there's a lot of stuff that's in here that was like, I'll have to ask my brother. I said, was there anything in the cupboards when you moved in? You'd probably say yes. So it'd be interesting to see what was like these old jars. I'm sure were probably my grandmother's, just judging by the age of the lids on that. Right. And the thing about that is that's interesting stuff, because like that's heritage stuff. It might be junk, but it's still heritage junk. Right. So it'll be interesting to see what was here when they moved in. And all that. I know the Flying V wasn't in here. There's no way my grandmother or grandfather would have ever allowed that thing in here. You should have seen poor Keith, the dog there. I walked outside with this around, like you're playing it, and she looked up, and she was all freaked out. She didn't like the Flying V. Maximus Shreddius Thrashius. That's the name of this beautiful guitar. So yeah, I think I did enough lollygagging today. So I did a bit of work. I wanted to bring some stuff down, but yes, I want to get it done, but it's kind of like I got to do a bit of a hurry up and wait here. So I thought, well, what can I do while I'm down here? I'm going to start tackling the outside a bit tomorrow. Today, I got the shelves done. So my sister-in-law can come down. She can go through all this. And I told them, same thing I told my brother. It's like, whatever you don't want, just leave it. I'll deal with it. Because if not, like, I'll be, okay, well, we'll get to it next week. We'll get, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get this project rolling really fast. Because, well, we're the 29th or 30th of August right now, right? So, yeah, so 2 more days, it's September, right? So I've got to get this thing winter ready by the end of September. Now, I may or may not have the wood stove by that time. If I have to go through the winter with, if I have to go through the winter with the baseboard heaters, so be it. What's this? TV cable? Oh, yeah. There should be a huge a TV antenna. from that old TV. That thing was like 50 feet high. I remember when we took it down. It's probably, no, I think I took it away for scrap metal. I think I did. But like once, like some stuff, like for example, my brother, because we have a microwave up home, he left me the toaster in the microwave. We brought it back. You want it? I said, yeah. And then I think it was a tea kettle or whatever. Because it was like there's 4 of them up home. You know, like my dad's like going through all our old dishes and stuff. Like, okay, what are we going to keep? What are we going to get rid of? Like there's stuff we just never use. Like 90% of that stuff I pulled out of there. Like these 2 drawers haven't opened in probably 5 years. Chuck that stuff. You know what I mean? Like just get rid of it. If you're not going to use it, throw it away, give it away, burn it, sell it, do something with it, but just don't hang. You know what I mean? Make the space. So, and then right here is my pantry. So they still have some stuff in here, that old peanut butter and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff could probably come out. But there's stuff up there. Yeah, maybe I better get that stuff. Maybe I'll do that and then I'll call it a day, because yeah, it's 2:30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this stuff out of there, and then it's out of there, right? And then it's just like, take it away. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, there we go. So this is the project that what did I do? Yeah, there. This is the project that I've been kind of teasing you guys about, what I was up to. Waiting for this. So going to be a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of blogs. I know some of the videos are probably not too entertaining right now, but are my videos ever really that entertaining, to be honest with you? I mean, I'm not trashing myself here, but you know what I mean? Like, I do wonder sometimes why some people continuously watch me, like, what's wrong with you? But I do appreciate you. I do. Something wrong with you, but I do appreciate you. Oh. 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 It's my house. I can do what I want now. This one will stick. Oh. Well, that sucks. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to call it a day. Here we go. All right. Have yourselves a good one. The end of day 1.